Tonight, in Texas, unseen forces literally scare a construction worker to death. An attorney solves a 100-year-old murder mystery with the help of the victim. In California, toy store employees encounter a spirit determined to reach out to the living because he refuses to believe that he's dead.
Reaching out from the world that lies beyond, they glide through the portals of our imagination. They shouldn't even exist, yet they've been seen appearing in the wink of an eye and vanishing in the pound of a heartbeat. Where they come from, what they want, only they know. They are beyond life, beyond death, to some of us beyond belief. But you are about to meet ordinary men and women who claim to have witnessed them, walked with them, even embraced them. Ordinary people who tell true stories of haunted lives.
When one thinks of ghosts, one imagines ruined castles or a lonely graveyard in the dead of night. But recently, psychic Sylvia Brown investigated a series of hauntings in a most unlikely location, an ordinary toy store in Sunnyvale, California.
This is a place in which they had lost, or reportedly had lost, 6 managers. So out of desperation, they called me and said, would you please come in because we think we have a ghost. It's a story of unrequited love, and not like some of the violence we see at other, let's say, ghost stories. It's sad, it's tragic.
It was the new frontier of California, barely tamed by farms and orchards. The year was 1881, the season, spring. Yanni Janssen was a barely literate, emotionally disturbed farmhand who lived for just one thing, his desperate love for his employer's daughter.
Elizabeth.
Yanni, you have to stop writing me these letters.
I don't mean to upset you.
You have. And if I told my father, he would ask you to leave.
But I love you.
And I love someone else.
I know I'm just a caretaker. I don't have very much to offer, but what riches I do have are in my heart.
I don't love you, Yanni. You have to understand that. I don't mean to hurt you, but I'm getting married in 6 days, and it's best that you forget about me. Bye.
Wait, you don't know me. You barely knew I existed till I wrote those letters. How do you know you don't love me?
I feel nothing for you.
I won't rest until you marry me. Elizabeth, don't go!
Time passes, as time will. What was once an orchard became a busy toy store, filled with the sounds of laughter, the hum of cash registers, and the presence of something else. Something that cannot easily be put into words.
Hello? Is anybody there? Hello? Who's there?
Whoa, hold on. Where's the fire?
There's something back there.
Where?
In the storeroom. It touched me, and it said something.
Oh, what touched you?
Excuse me, are you the manager?
Yes.
There's something wrong with your bathroom. The water comes on by itself. I turned the faucet off, but it came back on again. I think you need a plumber.
Oh, I'll call one right away. Thank you.
May I please have the rest of the day off?
Oh, whatever it is that scared you back there, I'm sure there's a logical explanation for it. Come on, I'll show you. Oh, it's only the storeroom. Nothing to be afraid of.
Okay, guys, we got a little problem. So I am putting the storeroom off limits for the next couple of days.
Rumor has it there's ghosts in the storeroom. Welcome to Ghosts R Us. Can I haunt you?
This is not a joke. And if you go around saying that there's a ghost, then we're liable to lose all of our customers. So until I can figure out exactly what this is, it's business as usual. Okay?
Bill. Did you stack them like that?
No.
Toys R Us.
Hi, it's me. Margie and I are at the school library. We're trying to figure this thing out. And we just found out some really interesting information. A long time ago, some people named Elizabeth and Martin Murphy lived here in Sunnyvale. They had this hired hand named Yanni Janssen, who was killed in an awful accident. The spooky part is that all this stuff happened exactly where the store is now.
We also found a lady we think can help us. She's a psychic researcher. Her name is Sylvia Brown. She works with the police and
Really knows this area. She specializes in these kinds of cases. She's
Great.
supposed to be very professional. She may even know who the ghost is. We really think she can help us. What do you think?
I need her right away.
All right, we'll get in touch with her.
Uh-huh.
From what I can tell, this has all the signs of a real haunting.
What exactly is a haunting?
It's spirits that don't know they're dead, or they resist going towards the light. Sometimes it's just unfinished business, or they just don't want to go. You see, in this case, Yanni Janssen is in a time warp, and he really believes that he's still part of this Martin Murphy ranch.
So how long will he be doing this for?
Months, years, maybe.
Well, how do I get rid of him?
With a silver bullet.
Well, really, we have to convince him that he's dead.
That night, Sylvia Brown tried to summon the spirit of Yanni Janssen.
Yanni, are you with us? Yanni, can you hear me? I can feel his presence now. It's getting stronger. He's coming towards us.
I can see him. He looks a lot like Casper.
He's coming around the corner now. Hello, Yanni. Come closer so we can see you. You're looking for someone. Her name is Beth. Elizabeth Murphy. Is this Martin Murphy's wife? No. This is his daughter. I'm sorry. No, she's not here. I know you loved her. She's very beautiful. Yes, I know how you can find her. She's on the other side. She's gone towards the light. You have to go towards the light, Yanni. You have to go towards the light to find Beth. Yanni, go towards the light.
Thank you.
Hopefully he's gone.
Good job. Good night. Good night, good job. Hey, drive safe now, okay? Is anybody here? Hello?
Yanni's appearance in the 1982 seance, as evidenced by this famous infrared photograph, was not his last haunting. In January of 1991, we revisited the Sunnyvale Toys R Us, where employees past and present gathered to talk about their experiences in the intervening years.
I heard my name being called. And, you know, I listened again, and I turned around, and I couldn't see who was calling me. And I said, wait a minute, she's not even working today. And I'd get back up, and I'd start fixing the overstock again, and I'd hear it again. And then I'd feel my hair being caressed. And it just, ugh.
And the one little teddy bear, instead of just falling down like it normally would, went out into an arch down to the floor. And I said to the manager, "You say what? Did that frighten you?" And he said, "It sure did, Put." So now when I go into the stock room, I bless myself and I say, "Hi, Johann. It's only me doing a day's work."
And upstairs we heard footsteps, very loud footsteps, thump, 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 thump. And I looked around and counted 1, 2, 3, 4 to make sure we were all there. And we were all there. And I asked one of the employees, I said, "Let's go upstairs and check it out." He's all, "No way, I'm staying right where I am."
I had gone in to use the restroom, was in one of the restroom stalls, heard the door open, heard the water turn on, kind of looked under, saw nobody in the restroom. The water turned off, the door opened, and I refused to use the restroom the rest of the 6 weeks I was here.
Someday, of course, he will leave. Maybe Beth will come for him, some loving entity will grab him. He'll go on to the white light, but until that time, he still walks up and down these halls looking for his lost love.
When we return, a ghost helps to solve the mystery of her own murder. Next to the coast of San Diego stands the Hotel del Coronado. For over 100 years, it has been famous as one of the world's greatest examples of Victorian architecture. But since 1892, there have been reports that the ghost of a beautiful young woman named Kate Morgan, an apparent suicide, haunts the hotel. A respected criminal attorney named Alan May was fascinated by recent reports he had seen on television. A mystery buff, he decided to investigate the rumored hauntings firsthand. One summer night in 1989, Alan May checked into the Del Coronado. He stayed the night in the very room Kate Morgan was said to haunt. By the next morning, he was asking to be moved to another room.
What can I tell you, Mr. May? As far as I know, room 3502 is the one that... Well, you were there last night. Didn't you hear anything?
Yeah, I heard the elevator, I heard the ice machine. Look, I'm not trying to be difficult, I just don't think that was the room. According to the stories, Kate spent her days looking out the window, waiting for her lover to come. The room I was in had no window. Besides, you said yourself the last 2 times they redesigned this hotel, they changed all the room numbers. According to all the records, that would have been room 302 in 1892. That's the room I want.
Let me see if it's free. This is very strange. According to the computer, room 3312 is out of service.
Is it supposed to be out of service?
No, it's not. You want it?
Yeah. In my line of work, gut feelings are very important. You have to trust them. You find yourself looking at people and objects and just knowing something about them. I wouldn't say that at that moment I believed that the room was haunted, but I did have a feeling that, haunted or not, this was Kate Morgan's room. This was where she was staying on the night she killed herself. At first, nothing unusual happened. At first. Hi.
Hi.
Any messages for Alan May in 3312?
Are you sure that's your room? 3312.
Yes. Why, is there a problem?
The computer says you've checked out. That room's out of service.
What can I tell you? I'm here.
I'm sorry about this, sir. I'll take care of it immediately. You have no messages.
Thanks.
Our original reason for going out here, I mean, we can sit in the car and drive along and count 10 or 50.
That night, I couldn't sleep. It was like I was waiting for something to happen. But what? I was panicked. Was I dreaming? I needed a witness.
Stop! 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 What's wrong?
Just follow me. Do you see it? TV's off.
ghostly image on Alan May's television compelled him to find out more about Kate Morgan's life and death.
A strange calm came over me. It was the kind of feeling I get when I've just agreed to take on a new case. To my surprise, Kate's paper trail still existed, and it told a very curious story. Kate was married and deeply in love with a handsome con man named Tom Morgan.
How many cards would you like, Mr. Fairchild?
I'll take 3.
Posing as brother and sister, the two traveled around the country, never staying in one place for long, for good reason.
Here's your drink, Mr. Fairchild.
Well, thank you, Miss Bernard.
And here's yours, Charles. I put in 3 pieces of ice, just like you wanted.
Thank you, Lottie.
Your sister's very lovely, Bernard. I'll see your bet and raise you 50.
I think you're bluffing, Mr. Fairchild. I'll see your raise. Call.
Three aces.
Full house.
Someday, Mr. Bernard, you'll have to tell me how you did it. Night, Miss Bernard. You're a hell of a card player, Mr. Bernard.
It was a con game that worked. But Kate wanted something more.
You know what I'd like most, Mr. Morgan? I'd like someday to be able to wear my wedding ring out in public.
You will, Kate. If we keep scoring like this, in a few years, we'll be able to retire.
Actually, I was thinking maybe I'd retire a little earlier than that. I'm pregnant, Tom.
You can't be.
Well, I am.
Your job is to take their minds off the game. Nobody's gonna look twice at a pregnant woman. This ruins the whole scam.
Tom abandoned Kate when she no longer served his purpose. She waited for him to return, and waited. Sadly, Kate lost her baby. But despite everything she had endured, she was still determined to rejoin Tom, and he reluctantly agreed to meet her in San Diego. A tragedy was drawing towards the final act.
Do you have a Mr. Bernard registered?
Yes, we do. As a matter of fact, Mr. and Mrs. Bernard checked in yesterday. Whom should I tell them is calling?
No, it's all right. That won't be necessary. Just tell Mr. Bernard that his sister stopped by, and perhaps I could leave a note.
Later, that same evening, they found Kate's body. She had died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. That poor, lonely young woman waiting for a lover that would never come. Kate Morgan's story made sense to me now. Certainly, it would explain the presence of a ghost, if that's what I was dealing with. Ghost or not, my heart went out to Kate. But that night, as I returned to the hotel, I was uneasy. Something was bothering me. It was her death certificate. Maybe the police missed something. The police had missed something vital. The gun that Kate had supposedly used was a .44 American Bulldog. Yet the slug taken from her skull at the autopsy was a .38, a much smaller bullet. At that moment, I felt I was close to solving the mystery. I didn't feel fear so much as I felt awe. It was my room, but not my room. Kate had somehow pulled me into the past. Her past. Kate obviously wanted to show me something. And I had no choice but to follow. As I left the room, it was as if I were there, but not there. How can I explain it? It was like, I don't know, like sleepwalking on the stage of some bizarre play. All I could do was watch as the events unfolded.
I got your note, Kate. What do you want?
I thought I wanted you. I don't anymore.
What do you want, Kate? You want money? Is that it? You want a divorce? You can have it. Just tell me what you want, Kate. Don't be foolish, Kate.
You lied to me. You hurt me.
Kate. Please.
Kate, behind you!
Tom picked up Kate's gun and fired it into the dirt of the potted palm on the landing. He placed the gun in Kate's hand and walked away. He just committed a perfect crime. Everyone believed that Kate Morgan had killed herself. That is, until 98 years later, when a skeptical attorney took up her case. But I couldn't help but wonder, why me? Why had she summoned me to solve her mystery? If Kate knew, she wasn't telling.
Weighted down by the tragedy he had witnessed, Alan May decided to tend to Kate's grave. He had purchased a headstone so Kate would not be cast aside in death as she had been in life. Later, Alan would discover that Kate Morgan had an earlier child who had survived. Unable to care for him, she had left him in the home of a close friend, a San Francisco reverend who then raised the boy as his own son. And amazingly, that reverend was Alan May's own great-grandfather. Though Alan May's experience with the ghost of Kate Morgan seems too incredible to be true, his credibility as a witness appears to be undeniable.
For the last 18 years, I've been a practicing attorney here in California, so this whole metaphysical experience is very bizarre to me. It's something I've never believed in before. I believe in it now, though, because not only did I have the experience of seeing what I saw, but I've got 4 or 5 witnesses who also saw it too, so I have to come to the conclusion I wasn't incompetent or non-compos mentis, but I was seeing what I saw.
This Texas field is all that remains of the Metz Elementary School. Though quiet today, not long ago ghosts were said to walk this place, ghosts that may have claimed a human life. When we return, the story of a terrified construction crew who led haunted lives. The Metz Elementary School had stood for 75 years, but in the fall of 1990, progress demanded that it be torn down.
Blow up the school, let's do it, man. Get out of here.
To Morris Torres and his brother Gabe, tearing down the school was an easy job. With their dad Joe calling the shots, it was just another day's work. They were wrong. Dead wrong.
Dad, we gotta get started. I know. I'm just waiting for your brother and Leo to finish their inspection. They went inside. We should be okay.
Let's go tell your dad to get started. What was that?
Sounds like kids.
What the hell are they doing here?
Didn't you have a childhood, Leo? Deserted buildings are great. You can hide and seek in them, or go treasure hunting, or even looking for dead bodies or gold.
Yeah, well, I had a childhood, but I knew a hell of a lot better than to hang out in a building that was about to be torn down.
I could have swore the noise was coming from in here.
Yeah. Well, maybe it was just in our heads. I'll go get Joe.
Somebody in here? Hey, kid, what are you doing in here?
Give me a break, Leo.
Joe, I'm serious. Gabe heard it too.
What the hell is the matter with you?
Inside the classroom. Huh? There was writing. It was there.
Hey, you see, I told you.
Listen, I don't have time for this.
Joe, I'm telling you, there's something in there.
Fine. What do you want me to do? Call Ghostbusters? Come on, everybody. We're taking this mother down right now. Miguel, come on, crank it up. Let's get going.
I don't know what happened.
We'll try it again. Morris, get you back onto that other piece. Come on, hurry up. All right, son. I'll go make a phone call, get someone down here to take care of this. It's funny my watch stopped. I'm losing my shirt on this job. What else can go wrong?
I need some help over here!
Here they are. What? The newspaper found out about our problems. One afternoon, a woman named Elaine Ireland called me. She had read the story. She said she was a psychic and she could help. What can I tell you? I was skeptical. Can you actually hear them?
Yes, they live here. This is their home.
Are they trying to scare us?
No. I hear laughing and singing. These are happy spirits. They were fed here, they were loved here, they were protected. This is their home. There's nothing but positive energy here.
So, what do they want?
Mr. Torres, it's obvious what they want. They don't want you here.
They don't want us here.
They want you to go. How would you like it if someone was destroying your home?
But lady, there's nothing we can do. We got a job, and we have to do it.
I know. I know, Mr. Torres, and I know you don't believe in the spirits, but they're here, and they intend to stay right here.
Maybe I should have listened. The next day, even more guys left. But what was I supposed to do? It was a job, and where I come from, you don't say no to work, ghosts or no ghosts. I was ready to try anything. I even brought in a community religious leader to perform an exorcism.
Oh, Heavenly Father, we ask you to have mercy upon these souls and allow them the rest that they seek within the sanctuary of your heavenly kingdom. Take them from our midst and grant them eternal peace. Amen.
The exorcism seemed to work. I was ready to believe in miracles, if that was going to help me get this job done. By the afternoon, we were beginning to make up some of the lost time. So, what do you think? Can we catch up with ourselves?
Oh, it's not possible. We can get part of the crew back by tomorrow. I even bet on it. All right?
Thanks, Leo.
Mr. Torres, I got trouble.
What's the matter with you, Otto? I told you Morris would help you demolish that wall.
No, that ain't it, Mr. Torres. I mean, I can't go back out there.
Otto, we took care of those ghost things. They're gone.
No, I can't go back. I got a feeling if I do, something terrible's gonna happen.
Yeah? Well, if you don't go back in, something even worse is gonna happen to you. You'll get fired. Now, please listen and try to understand. We are running behind. I need you.
But Mr. Torres...
Otto!
Just swallow. Poor guy. He said something bad with... You're still coming down, no matter what.
Now, all that remains of Metz Elementary School is a vacant lot and many unanswered questions. After the job, Joe Torres dug up one of the trees from the school and planted it in his daughter's front yard. Several days later, his son-in-law called to say that he heard voices coming from the tree. They were the voices of children, singing and laughing.
Well, I was never one to believe in ghosts or spirits, but since I got reports and my equipment went down and my superintendent's wife stopped and his pickup wouldn't run and walls falling the wrong way, and my son bringing it to my attention that they've heard and felt and experienced some noises in there, and I began to think otherwise.
When I was downstairs too working in a restroom between two narrow walls, cutting pipes, a cold breeze went through me, and it kind of scared me for a while. You know, my brother's here sweating, and I'm up here getting all cold.
They both got me to thinking about, are there really ghosts in here or not? And that still runs in my mind now, and I don't know what to believe anymore.
There was a sadness that last time I was there. I think we trampled where we didn't belong without their permission. These children demanded attention, and they certainly got it, these spirits. There are at least 20 new believers and people with new respect for the spirit world.
They're planning to build a new school there, of course, and I just wish them luck. I hope they don't go through the same experience that I did, and I just hope they have better luck than I did.
Tonight, we've seen three very different kinds of ghost stories. What compels these haunting events? Why do ordinary men and women experience such extraordinary things? All that we know for certain is that there are many other tales to be told. Strange tales of haunted lives.
Tonight, in California, a happily married couple is suddenly driven to the brink of murder by a horrifying supernatural force. An Indiana family buys a motel and moves in, only to find that every room is already occupied by ghosts. A stern Texas man creates problems for those around him until a violent accident ends his life. But he returns, determined to carry a message from the other side.
Reaching out from the world that lies beyond, they glide through the portals of our imagination. They shouldn't even exist, yet they've been seen appearing in the wink of an eye and vanishing in the pound of a heartbeat. Where they come from, what they want, only they know. They are beyond life, beyond death, and to some of us, beyond belief. But you are about to meet ordinary men and women who claim to have witnessed them, walked with them, even embraced them. Ordinary people who tell true stories of haunted lives. Through the ages, many people have reported encounters with the ghosts of family members. Some experience joy at seeing a loved one a few last times. Most simply feel cold, stark terror. In a small town near Dallas, Texas, the extended family of Bob Clanton lived together and did their best to get by. It wasn't a peaceful home, and it wasn't a ghost disturbing their peace. It was Bob Clanton himself, a hot-tempered, obstinate man. He made his own rules and expected everyone else to obey.
I do a good job on these shells? Old man Kern said he might have some more work for me.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Now, let's see.
Geez, Rick, these things ain't gonna hold a load of books unless you think old man Kern has a collection of porcelain dogs like your brother Tim.
No, sir, it'll hold. I just have to strap the corners, that's all.
Doing this for your own good, Ricky. When you build them right, you get more work.
You didn't have to do that.
You know something? You build your shelves any way you damn feel like. I'm going down the road, going to get a couple of beers. You can tell your mom, tell her I had to go to the plant early. Unless you want to come too. You tell your wife we had to go get some supplies. Yeah, I didn't think so.
Hey, Dad. Hey, little buddy. Come here, you. How you doing, huh? He just wanted to come out and see what you two were up to.
Now, whoa! Now, he can go play in the barn, but I don't want him in this workshop. You know, it gets into everything.
Come on, Dad. He's just a little kid.
Ricky, you do what I tell you. Unless you want to find a shop of your own.
Clanton stirred up trouble wherever he went. According to his son Rick, union leaders at his plant sent 2 co-workers to talk some sense into him.
How you doing, Clanton?
Cindy, go adjust your pantyhose. Now, Cindy.
You've been putting your nose where it don't belong, Clanton. Me and the others, we ain't too happy about that.
They ask me if I care. You're supposed to be representing the workers. Yeah, if they only knew. If they only knew.
You just don't take a hint, do you, Clanton?
Not from slobs like you.
On April 3rd, 1989, Bob Clanton was riding home from work, taking his usual route. He made one unscheduled stop. The family soon discovered how difficult it would be to put Bob Clanton to rest.
Rick, Mom, it was my father's eyes. We tried to close them, but they kept opening on their own. There was nothing we could do about it.
Bob Clanton was buried, but he was hardly ready to rest in peace.
I know what I die. I know why I die. I know.
Tim?
Why?
Tim, is that you fooling around?
I know why I died. I know.
Who is that? What do you want?
Die. I know why I know why I died.
You ain't supposed to be here.
I know why I died.
Clanton appeared several times to various family members. It was unanimous. He was no longer welcome.
Look, I am telling you, we need professional help. A psychic. Otherwise, the old man's gonna make life more miserable for us now than when he was alive. Mama.
Jackie, you take Christopher and me and give him something to eat. A psychic, Tim? Come on, it's not quite that simple. He wants something from us.
Like what?
I don't know. I don't know. He keeps talking about his dying and all. Maybe he wants us to look into it. Them fellas at work, they were always making threats and all.
This is unbelievable. You know, even when he's dead, you are still trying to please him.
So what if I am?
He doesn't deserve it, Rick. Our father was awful to us.
Maybe that's the only way we can get him to move on.
Rick tried to keep alive the notion that his father might have been murdered. He hit a dead end when the assistant county prosecutor refused to pursue the case for lack of evidence. There was no sign of foul play.
It was busting me up. I felt like I was letting him down. And frankly, I was a little afraid of what he might do to us.
Rick!
It's all right. We've had trouble with the pipes before. He's just trying to make it worse to scare us, that's all.
Yeah, well, it's working. We need help, Rick.
Now, I said no. This is our problem. I'm not about to bring in some outsider just gonna sit around and talk small talk with him.
Man, you are just as stubborn as he was. He's here to torment us, don't you see that?
Yeah.
Rick went looking for the source of the problem, though he had a pretty good idea of what it was.
No. You go away. Dad, you leave us alone. Please. Please don't be here. Please don't be here.
After the incident under the house, the family finally agreed they needed help. They contacted two renowned mediums from Dallas, Dwana Paul and Carol Williams. It was time to have a talk with Bob Clanton.
Well, we don't really want to talk to him. We just want him gone.
He doesn't know that. He doesn't hear you. And I'm not sure you've heard him.
Oh, no, ma'am. I heard him all right.
Communication with the spirit world is difficult. He's trying to send a message. Maybe you haven't understood it. And that's why he's still around. Let's clasp hands. Close your eyes. Make your minds blank. Don't let him feel any fear. It's a negative energy that will push the spirit away. I feel something. Pain. Great pain. Oh, no. Oh.
I know why I died.
What do you want?
Rick, I know why I died.
We gotta do something.
No. The pain is his. All the pain he brought on people in his life. It's come back to him.
I know why I died.
Oh.
He blames us.
I know why I died. All the pain. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything.
Rick and his son Christopher have had the most contact with the ghost of Bob Clanton. Rick has seen him several times, and Chris has actually spoken with his grandfather on many occasions. Bob Clanton's other son, Tim, has also seen him, and he has spoken through medium Dwana Paul with the help of her partner, Carol Williams. All agree that Clanton had plenty of unfinished business and wasn't ready to die.
Kept on cutting the wood, and then I hear Rick again, and it's a little bit louder. So the third time I turn around, and then there my father was.
I seen him, he was full figure, and I didn't pay no attention to it, so I just went on in, and once I got into the bathroom, it just came to my mind. I'm sitting there, well, he's sitting on that couch, but he couldn't be.
I was awake, then I saw him by my grandma's side of her bed. Then he was talking to her, but she was asleep, and he didn't see me awake. He was standing on the ground and was saying, I wish I could still be alive with her, and he missed her.
The family, before we arrived on the scene, were really frightened. They were terrified. They didn't understand why their father was appearing to them since he was already dead.
I looked, and then it was like a kind of a glow. And when I looked over there into the corner, my father had appeared, but he wasn't standing or anything. It was levitated, and he was up right at the rafters.
Well, we all have free will choice. Spirit has free will choice. So all we can do is convince them or try to convince them that there is a better place. If they're stuck, they need to move on to a higher place, a learning place, rather than stick around. And sometimes they refuse to go. Sometimes.
Why did Bob Clanton refuse to go? Rick still believes he has the answer.
He believes that he was deliberately killed, and so he came back so that we can find out who really killed him and get justice.
He was always wanting things his way when he was alive, and he was always wanting to be in charge and take charge of everything that would go on. And basically it's the same thing after he's died. Of course, he's still wanting things his way.
Now, I think that one of the main reasons he came back was to apologize to my mother for some of the problems that he's caused her, and to apologize for the women that he went around with.
There were things left unsaid, things undone, unfinished. The fact that he never said goodbye to the family, that he felt as if he needed to sort of finish that emotional side, that anger he had with them, to resolve a lot of things that were not resolved between them. And as he said to us from the spirit side, is they told me I had to get things straightened out on this side before I could move on.
A supernatural force terrorizes a young couple when Haunted Lives returns. When a landlord found tenants for his house for rent in a quiet neighborhood in the San Fernando Valley near Los Angeles, he didn't know one very important thing about his property. It was already occupied. Tenants rarely stayed more than a week. Some left after only one night. They reported seeing shadows and hearing strange noises. Some even said it was haunted. The landlord didn't believe them. He just returned their checks and placed new ads in the paper. After all, the rent was reasonable and the house was beautiful. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, pool, spa, and a spacious kitchen. The classified ad the Mathesons answered left out the one truly special feature the house had to offer: a relentless evil presence.
What did I do to deserve all of this?
You bought the patio furniture.
Oh, well, what do I get for buying the 4-poster bed?
Don't push your luck.
What is it? What happened?
What does it look like? Would it kill you to help me clear the dishes?
Well, I'd be glad to help. I just... Rita, behind you.
You're always glad to help when the work is done, aren't you? When there's something to do, where the hell are you? Do you know how much work it takes to keep up a house like this? When was the last time you ever did anything, ever?
Hey, I pay for this house. While you're sitting in your stupid art class, I'm out there busting my butt to buy you apples to sketch.
I do the cooking. I do the cleaning. I do everything.
For $50 a week, I could get a girl to do twice the work in half the time without all the bitching. And for another 50, I could get one who's better in bed than you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
I love you. Forgive me. I never want to fight again.
The Mathesons patched things up quickly, but their truce was short-lived. Their whole life changed. Once best friends, they became bitter enemies. Over a period of weeks, their fights became increasingly more violent and irrational. They were out of control and didn't realize it. Their relationship was crumbling, and the once happily married couple was on the verge of divorce. They couldn't understand how their relationship could have deteriorated so quickly.
Maybe we weren't meant to live together.
Do you believe that?
Yeah. No. I mean, I love you very much, but we haven't had a decent moment since we moved in.
Well, what do you want to do?
I don't want to lose you.
Honey, it's the move, your job. I mean, we're just under a lot of stress, that's all. Hey, it'll get better. Come here. What's wrong?
I didn't leave the lights on.
Neither did I.
It's red hot. Oh, man. Did you leave the heat on?
Why do you blame everything on me?
Well, I didn't mean anything, but I was just...
You're always accusing, always pointing a finger. One of these days, I'm gonna cut that finger off.
Hey, wait a minute.
Great. Everything's rotten. Is this supposed to be funny?
Oh, my God.
Oh, I get it. Rita doesn't work enough around here. I'll just give her something to clean up.
Rita, look around you. There's something wrong.
I'll say something's wrong. I've had all the crap I'm gonna take from you. You think this is a mess? I'll show you a mess. A bloody mess. Blood and guts and pointed fingers everywhere.
Honey, don't let it do this to us.
No more orders. No more complaints. No more blame.
Rita, I love you. You mean more to me than anything. Every day I'm with you, I love you more. Come on, honey, please, just hold me. Please? Please. been the house this whole time. We can't let it beat us. Get the door! Hurry! Hurry!
This can't be happening!
You gotta get out of here! Get out!
Kyle and Rita Matheson went to the hospital and never returned to this house. They are attempting to recover physically and emotionally from their ordeal. Even today, 2 years later, they agree to speak only if their appearance is concealed.
I still have a fear that maybe this, whatever this thing was, knows where we are, and they might find us again. I don't know. I still am not certain that that wasn't a personal thing, even though I keep being reassured that it probably was not, that it had to do with the house. It's still so vivid in my mind. The fear that I felt for myself and my husband was just something that you can't erase.
The other things that happened to me in addition to a fractured jaw was my nose was broken right here. There was a break in my eye socket. There was some damage to the ligaments in my eye, so my eye now kind of hangs a little lower on this side than it does on the other side. It's not very noticeable, but not like my nose. But on this side, my tooth here was cracked down below my gum line down to the root, so they had to, that's all gone now.
Desperately trying to understand what had happened, they contacted Christopher Chacon of the Office of Scientific Investigation and Research. Chacon and a team of investigators spent 16 months trying to find out just what had gone on in the Van Nuys house.
One of the initial steps in our investigation was to set instrumentation inside the house, again to try to basically get a baseline, a correlation of normal phenomena and abnormal phenomena in the environment.
Chacon and his team found a high level of unusual activity. This is actual footage of his investigation.
Now here, this is again an unmanned camera which was static, set up for 72 hours. At the other end as well is another camera with a microwave imaging system. Now if you look off to the right side of the hallway, we pick up a distortion, or commonly a shadow. It's moving down the hallway, and there it is now crossing farther down the hallway. It's moving downward, and as it enters the threshold of the door, we suddenly see the door in the back. It is responding to movement. Now the unusual thing is we also are monitoring basically the general environment of the house. There are no brushes of air, there is no doors, windows open. All the door jambs are level and even. These doors would not be swinging normally. And the equipment is again beginning to monitor more as both of these doors move. Okay, now at this point we have an unmanned static camera, night vision. Nobody is in the house for another 72-hour period. As we pick up the movement, as you see the roll of tape going across the floor, and then the case and the helmet movement as well. What's going to take place is basically some of the most remarkable footage that we've documented during the first beginning of this investigation. As you can see in a moment, doors and drawers, cabinets are moving. Our other instrumentation did pick up fluctuations taking place in the environment, background radiation fluctuations, electrostatic fields. In a moment, the vibration that's taking place, or the phenomena, we should say, is moving across the kitchen toward the camera. Now it's affecting the camera. We speculate on that because what you're seeing is an effect on the magnetic tape itself, and the fluctuations are continuing. After this was over, when we found the camera, it was severely damaged.
We couldn't walk by each other without without feeling this extreme anger toward one another, and there really might not have been anything specific that happened. There was a look that came over his face that was so terrifying to me, as though he could have walked into the kitchen and grabbed a knife and stabbed me to death.
I could not say a civil word to anyone in my family.
And when we'd leave the house, we would feel completely differently, almost instantly. The feeling of hostility was gone.
There are hauntings that take place all across the country, all over the world, and for the most part they're harmless, and many people find them as being fun actually to have that type of phenomena around. But when you have a situation which is hostile and which can actually cause harm to the occupants, my advice to them is very simple: simply get out.
If the spirits are angry and don't want you in that home, there isn't anything you're going to be able to do.
There's nothing like someone going through an experience with you to make you close with that person. People say it happens in war. This was like a war.
Next, a family falls in love with their new home, but the feeling isn't mutual. When Doretta and Ron Johnson found the motel in Madison, Indiana, they knew it was the perfect place to raise their kids, Stephen and Ashley, and to finally open the daycare center they always wanted. The old motel was going to be their dream house. It turned out to be their worst nightmare.
How come you can't admit that this place is absolutely perfect, Ron?
Because it's $64,000. Why are we even looking at it, Doretta?
The real estate market is real bad right now.
Not that bad. Look, I just don't want to get too excited over something I know we'll never be able to afford.
I get the pink room.
If you give me one of the bungalows for my bedroom, never hear my stereo.
That would be worth whatever it costs.
Our absolute limit is $25,000. I can't believe she went for it.
Sometimes dreams do come true. Ashley, what's wrong? Honey, are you okay?
He's hurting her.
No, what? No, it's just a bad dream. Honey.
I heard him. I heard him hurting her.
Oh, no, it's okay. It's just... Okay, it's okay. It's just the house settling. Yeah, it's kind of like it's saying hello. Okay? Okay. It's okay. Why don't you lie down here and try to get some sleep, okay? Yeah, nice to see you tomorrow morning.
We could give him a cottage in Utah. We'd still hear his stereo.
Well, she's finally asleep.
Anything wrong?
No, she's just a little nervous, you know. First night in a new house, jitters. Oh. Looks like I have a small case of it myself. Don't you think you laid it on just a little thick at Grandma's?
Those noises in the attic could have been rotting mummies from hell, waking from years of cursed sleep. Or it could be alien embryos mutating in our crawl space.
Or it could be the wind.
You have no imagination, Mom.
Ashley does. And next time you make up these ridiculous stories, don't tell any of them around her. Or else you're gonna have to stay up with her next time when she's up all night screaming. I mean, you're gonna have to tell her that there's no such thing as...
You were saying, Dad?
Don't make too much of this. Some birds flew in, hit the walls, that's all.
Yeah. That's what they said in the birds. You know what happened to them.
That's enough, Stephen. Ron, take Ashley up to bed. Stephen and I will start cleaning up.
Are we home yet?
Steve was just kidding, honey. There weren't any ghosts.
What about the lights? Steve says the ghosts were mad.
Well, Stephen was confused. But I think being grounded for a week will help him see things more clearly. It's an old motel, honey, and the wiring needs to be fixed. It's like when your talking doll needs new batteries. Hey, what did you draw?
A mommy, daddy, and a little girl.
Oh, what about a big brother who tells his little sister too many scary
Oh my God! Get out of this thing! Run! Run, Stephen! Quick!
What is it?
In there.
What is it?
In there. Go look.
What's wrong, Mommy?
Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. I can feel the evil here. It's like a chill in the air.
It is a chill in the air. Thermostat's busted.
Stephen, unfortunately, this is all I can do. The rest is up to you.
We appreciate it, Father.
If I were you, I would check out the history of this house, but that's not all I would do.
Another, blessing?
I would get the hell out.
Don't you think we should say something before Mom brings the kids back?
Say what? The priest was right. We can't leave.
We can't have our family live.
We can't have our family living on the street. And if we leave, that's where we go. Every penny we've got is in this place.
So we sell it.
I already talked to the realtor. Word's gotten out about our problems. I couldn't get enough to pay off the mortgage.
If a guy drowned his daughter here, we should have been told.
And would that have made a difference? I feel like a failure.
Oh, come on, honey. It's not your fault.
And I thought I was this brilliant negotiator. Now I find out I'm just another sucker.
Come here. But you're my sucker. I love you.
Mommy, I'm cold.
crazy?
No, it's just a little girl. She's scared.
Let her join the club.
Maybe if we help her, she'll leave us alone. Jeez.
The Johnsons couldn't afford to leave, and they couldn't afford not to fight back. They contacted parapsychologists at the university who were intrigued by their story. Their initial theory, a magnetic field caused by the intersection of 3 power lines above the house, was the catalyst for the evil within. A team of experts would be arriving at daybreak.
The kids are finally asleep. I'm glad someone can rest in this house. Thank God the parapsychologists believed us. I was beginning to think I was losing my mind.
It's gonna be nice to turn the tables. Let's just see how the thing in this house likes being scared for a Doretta.
Get off my child, you bastard! Run! Run! Stephen! Oh my God. Oh. Let them have their damn house. We're never going back. Oh my God.
Today, the Johnsons are still trying to cope with their haunted lives.
It's your worst nightmare. There's nothing that can hurt a mother worse than to see her children bitten and hit. And, you know, they look to you and they scream, help me, and there's nothing you can do.
I got really mad and I screamed out and I just said, bite me, not her. And I just threw myself on top of her and was screaming for it to stop. And I could feel my arms, I had my arms on top of hers. And I could feel her arms underneath mine, and they were depressing, and I could feel it biting her. And when I raised my arms up, there was just these horrible bite marks all up and down her arms, and she was screaming and begging me to make it stop, and I couldn't. There's no way I could make it stop.
It's one thing when I've got somebody I can actually see standing in front of me, I can fight. But when you can't see nothing, but you see indentions or bite marks and whelps and bruises all over your children, you know, and you see them being put there, but there's nothing there. You know, it's like, what do you do?
The attacks on the family continued.
I'd wake up with bruises, and Mom and Dad thought that somebody was beating me. I'd find bruises on my back, on my shoulders, on my chest, pretty much almost everywhere.
I put him to bed, and that night I felt real uncomfortable, and so I slept in their room with them, and I slept on the floor. And when I woke the next morning, Ashley was standing over top of me, and she was straddled of my neck, and she had this huge butcher knife and had it shoved into my mouth. And when the blade of the knife had caught, I had metal braces on my teeth, and it had burrowed into the brace in my mouth, and it had stopped it. And what was the most strange thing about it was when I looked up at her, her eyes were wide open, and she had both little hands wrapped around the handle of this knife, shoving it. I mean, you could feel the force pushing on it into my throat. And when I reached up and pulled it away from her like that, I mean, it was just the strangest look on her face. It was as if she had been asleep and just been woke up, and she started screaming and crying.
When the Johnsons moved, they thought they were safe, but they were followed.
So we packed everything up and moved totally, probably about 100 miles away. And when we first got there, things were back to normal. But we were there probably 3 weeks, maybe a month, and things started happening at the house again.
It was there. One of them were there. Other people saw it tearing my apartment up. Ashley almost died in a weird hanging. I mean, it couldn't be explained. He couldn't run. He couldn't get away.
The Johnsons finally stopped running. They moved back to the house. They intend to fight and win.
People kept saying, well, how can you go back? There was no other choice. I had to go back to see if I can find the answers to stop the violence, to stop, the anger, whatever's making it attach itself to us and follow us. It's like a standoff. I'm here, and it's there. And at some point, we've got to figure out how to handle the situation between us and it.
Tonight we've seen 3 very different kinds of ghost stories. What compels these haunting events? Why do ordinary men and women experience such extraordinary things? All we know for certain is that there are many other tales to be told. Strange tales of haunted lives.
Tonight on Real Ghosts. In Kansas, students are running for their lives when a fraternity house becomes a haunted house and one pledge refuses to be denied membership. Then, a nightclub in Kentucky serves up good times, plenty of country music, and some uninvited guests. What dark secret lies buried there? Next.
Reaching out from the world that lies beyond, they glide through the portals of our imagination. Yet some say they don't exist. They have been seen in the wink of an eye. They vanish in the pound of a heartbeat. They are beyond life, beyond death, and to many, beyond belief. But now you will meet people who have seen them, walked with them, and even embraced them. Real people with real stories of real ghosts. There is often a vast difference between belief and actual experience. Students at Kansas State University say their experiences have made them believers.
Ever since I saw Animal House, I thought it would be a blast to join a fraternity. From what I saw my first day as a pledge, I knew I was in for some wild times. I had no idea.
I don't think she knew how to handle the love machine. What's that smell? It's a pledge.
Ignore Mr. Charm. He just learned to walk upright last week. Adam Wagner. Need help with that stuff?
Josh Pickering. No thanks, I can manage. Hey, what was all that about?
Another chapter in our illustrious history. Termites, show Mr. Pickering to the attic.
The attic?
Yeah. Well, you don't think we want to contaminate our air with a pledge?
Termite's your new big brother. He'll show you the ropes.
It's not so bad. You'll get my old bug. Come on.
Look, I don't mean to be a wimp, but do girls always run out of here screaming?
Oh, she probably saw Duncan.
Duncan?
He's our resident ghost. I mean, I've never seen him, but he's supposed to look out for pledges. Well, here you go. Welcome to the Rex. Good luck.
Thanks. Cool.
Hey, you're welcome.
I'm Michael. Hi, I'm Josh.
Now, ladies, the fun is about to begin. These are toothbrushes. That is a dirty kitchen, and you are pledges.
I thought hazing was illegal.
Not while I'm around. Go.
know what I saw, man.
I'm not doubting you. It's just so bizarre.
Yeah. Here. I wanted to show you this earlier. I thought Lewis did it.
Hi, welcome to Phi Delta Gamma.
Hasn't changed.
Oh, you lived here?
GI Bill in 46.
You were a Phi?
Well, no, when I lived here, it was Theta.
Josh Pickering.
Wally Marshall.
Would you like to take a look around?
Yeah. Thank you.
Down here is the least used room in the house, the library. Apparently, this used to be some sort of sacred room. Sir, are you okay? Mike! Adam! Mike!
There was no question as to what happened that afternoon. Wally Marshall saw something in that library. But what?
Nice going, boys. What'd you do to that old geezer? Short-circuit his pacemaker?
Lewis, is there something we should know about the library?
Yeah, there is. You're both sleeping there. Tonight.
Having fun yet?
Oh, he's got to be here somewhere.
Do you think someday we'll look this dorky?
Someday?
Lewis must have crashed by now. I say we split.
I know this guy. He's the guy that had the heart attack. And look. Duncan Palmer.
Razor's on stun.
Bye, Captain.
You should have seen the look on your faces. Sweet dreams, boys. Make sure they pay for that lamp. Don't you see him? He's right there.
I don't see anything. Do you?
Nah, man.
Okay, guys, we all know what happened to Lewis.
When's he coming back?
Whenever, he doesn't know. I agree with Mike that we need to get this thing resolved.
You know, I actually feel sorry for the guy. Wow.
We don't want this to happen again. Let's do it. Join hands.
A lot of guys said this seance thing of Mike's was a lame idea. But Duncan was trying to tell us something.
Duncan, if you're here, we summon you. We feel your pain. Speak to us, through us. Concentrate on the candles.
cold in here.
You wish to join the Brotherhood?
I wish to join, Brother Wallace.
Then you must walk the gauntlet.
God.
Some of us still don't believe the spectacular events actually happened, but it all made sense to me. Wally Marshall was responsible for Duncan's death, a hazing incident that was covered up. Duncan only wanted to belong, which is why he still hangs around the fraternity. For some reason, he latched on to me, which is why I've made this decision.
That's it. My eyes are fried. Good night, man. You sure you won't reconsider? You're really gonna move out? Good night, Mike. Good night, Duncan.
You've got to get up now. You don't have much time. You've got to get up now. You don't have much time.
Mike, come on, man, get up! There's a fire! Come on! Guys, get up! We're on fire! Come on, man, get up! Get out! Mike, let's go!
Mike told everyone I saved their lives. It was time to set the record straight.
We're gathered together to honor a brother. There's only one way we can thank you. We took a vote. We want to make you one of us. Forever. Josh.
You should have been given this a long time ago. Wear it with pride, Duncan.
Brothers.
Nice work, man.
Welcome home.
Just outside the campus of Kansas State University in Manhattan, Kansas, is the Pi Kappa Phi House.
Here we are now in the room where Duncan was actually killed. As rumor has it, he was kneeling down over here on the floor during a paddling incident, and he accidentally looked up and got hit on the back of the head with a paddle. Well, after the blow to the head, the blood supposedly came over and hit this wall, and ever since then has been seeping through red, so we thought maybe wallpaper would cover it up. Well, after we wallpapered it, still didn't work. You could see blood outlines, And we actually saved some of that when we tore it down, and this is what we call our blood ball. This used to be a completely beige wallpaper, and now you can see how the red has come through.
Larry Keller had a late-night encounter with Duncan.
One night, sitting in here brushing my teeth with another guy in the house, getting ready for bed, doing the normal chit-chat stuff, whatever guys do before they go to bed. We used to have a fan in this corner over here, and we had different lights that had outlets, and on the last outlet the fan was hooked up, and we had it going, usually to air out the room. Well, in this particular instance, we're brushing our teeth and the fan turns on by itself. Goes for about 15 seconds on high. Next thing you know, it shuts off. We come over to investigate, and the fan is in the off position the entire time. And in about the same amount of time that it would take someone to walk from the fan over to the door slams. That's my closest encounter with Duncan.
The night of the fire is still fresh in Joel Pickering's mind.
When Duncan woke me up during the fire, I saw him walk by the bed. So then I jumped up and looked down at the bed, which I could see smoke was just rolling up out of this. And to this day, I believe it was Duncan that saved our lives.
Sergio Lopez lived in the house for 3 years.
A fraternity brother of mine was sleeping in that bunk right there. One night when he heard the door open, he heard somebody walk up the steps, walk across the aisle, hearing the floor squeak. He swears he didn't see anybody. He believes it was Duncan, and to this day my friend refuses to come up here.
Occasionally, the members of Pi Kappa Phi go in search of Duncan.
Oh, great and mystifying Ouija. Is there a spirit here with us now? A couple of guys got up on the table and sat Indian style and had the board between them and tried to call Duncan. Well, nothing was happening. We couldn't figure out why. And not till after that we found out somebody had a Bible in the room. And as soon as he left, it started working. We said, what's your name? And he spelled out Duncan. And every time we would say his name and try and call him, the wind would start howling and our candles would start flickering. It was pretty rough there after we played Ouija. It really put in a lot of guys' minds that he is real and he is here in the house. And it really makes you wonder, he could be sitting right here next to me and I wouldn't even know it.
At a reunion of the Phi Gamma Deltas who occupied the house in the 1970s and 80s, it was clear that Duncan had been haunting the house for years.
Granted, it is an old house, but when you hear doors closed that are supposed to be locked, coffee cups falling off the shelves, we don't have an explanation of what happened, but something happened.
To this day, Duncan continues to haunt the frat house, his spirit stuck somewhere between the living and the world of peaceful souls.
I have no idea what exactly his purpose is. As far as I know, he likes it here.
A grand tour of America's most haunted people, places, and things when Real Ghosts returns. All over the nation, people are on a ghost watch. In Connecticut, a family say they were terrorized by a malevolent ghost. A ghost who focused his demonic attentions on the children. It all began when the Macaulay family moved into their suburban dream home.
I felt like there was a presence. Somebody was watching me.
She goes, something is watching me, it's touching me, I can feel it.
The phone used to ring at all hours, and you'd pick up the phone and it would be just static, so you start to wonder what really is going on.
Soon the terror began to escalate.
We would all see things together. The children would see things. We would all sit there as a family and see these things together. So we're all not becoming mentally ill at once.
The Macaulays are convinced that a demonic spirit was terrorizing their two children.
He was like telling me to hate God, don't trust my parents, they're liars, God's evil and stuff like that.
The nightmare continued, and the Macaulays realized their children's lives were at stake.
And one time my son, he woke up and he started yelling for us, and you could see his arm extended ahead of him, and he was being dragged across the floor by something you couldn't see.
One afternoon, the ghost went too far.
The man told me to go out the window and hang there, and I really trusted him, so I listened to him and I did it.
And all I could see was the fingertips of my son hanging out the second-story window.
The Macaulays went for help. But even after an exorcist visited their home, they still decided to move out. Today, they run a support group for other people terrorized by ghosts.
People ask us, well, what credentials do you have? We said we had 5 years of on-the-job training.
In North Arlington, New Jersey, a family was being terrorized by the ghost of their murdered daughter. It all began when Tony Euling's teenage daughter Lisa joined a street gang. After she decided to quit the gang, she disappeared.
After several days, I get a call from police detectives from Newark that they wanted to speak to me. They came over and they said they had found the body of an unidentified white girl. And sure enough, it was my daughter.
She was a very loving and a very caring person. Why they want to do something like this to her, I'll never know.
At the same moment that her body was found, her father saw her ghost.
I seen my daughter appear to me, face to face. She came to me in about 6 seconds, it faded and it came back.
A few days later, as Tony tried to sleep, an apparition appeared, and Tony was forced to fight for his life.
Something was choking me around my neck and hit me over the head with something. I don't know what it was. I wanted to let out a scream, but I couldn't scream.
Terrified, Tony arranged a seance with a professional medium and soon discovered just who was haunting their home. Not his daughter, but her killer, a man murdered in a bar fight shortly after he committed his crime.
He says, I'm sorry that I helped kill your daughter. I didn't mean to do it. Will you forgive me for what I did?
Tony forgave him, and the hauntings ended. Lisa's mother is certain that her daughter is finally at rest.
I says, I think God loaned me an angel for about 20 years. And then he decided he wanted her back. So, I mean, I can't question what God wants.
And the Eulings' advice for other people faced with real ghosts?
Don't be afraid of them. See what they want. Sometimes they come to you to protect you or to tell you how much they love you.
Finally, in Atwater, California, a World War II bomber still flies on a ghostly mission, piloted by a friendly ghost named Arthur.
We started getting calls in this area about people seeing lights and things on in the aircraft. We could see in the cockpit area up here, it was kind of like a glow.
One of the prize aircraft in the Castle Air Museum is this vintage B-29 bomber. Soon after it arrived at the museum in 1981, people began to hear strange noises and see locked doors opening and closing. And then a ghostly figure dressed in a brown flight jacket began to appear.
It made you feel like, man, I want to get out of here. I'm scared. You know, I didn't want to just take off running and if somebody's telling me, like, hey, what's this guy, nuts or what?
Eyewitness after eyewitness reported the same phenomena. And finally, after an exhaustive check of records, it was discovered that a crew member had been killed on board the aircraft. Apparently, he refuses to leave.
His purpose is to be the guardian angel of the museum.
To the people who work there, Arthur is welcome to stay, as long as he wants. It is said that when a house is built on haunted ground, ghosts will linger within. Few of us ever check the history of our property, even though it might hold a dark secret.
Come on, darling. Let's get this over with. Die game or die hard, it's your choice. We give you this offering.
When Bobby Mackey and his young wife were looking to start a country western club,
Well, darling, here we are.
they weren't concerned about the past, just the future.
Is this great or what?
Hey, babe, it's great.
Here. Now we get one of the mechanical bowls, we'll put it right over there. This bar, we can use this for the bar. Great. It's a little messy right now, but I'll get it fixed up. Oh, that's a step. I think get a couple pool tables and put them over here. And then, there's bright lights and country music.
Every journey starts with a single step. My mama told me that. And that spring day when I first saw the club, I thought we'd taken a step in the right direction. Well, I was wrong.
All the folks are dancing down here. Yours truly will be right here where he belongs, in the spotlight.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. No wonder this place is so cheap.
No. That ain't the only reason.
Excuse me?
Name's Carl. You must be Bobby Mackey.
How'd you know my name?
Oh, well, it's no secret you're moving in. I just thought I'd roll out the welcome wagon and sign up on a list in case you're hiring.
Well, let's talk later. Oh, this is my wife, Janet.
Meet you.
Hi.
Would you folks like to take a guided tour? This place is sort of a hobby of mine.
Sure. Janet?
Sure.
You know, I could have the power on for you by tomorrow.
That first day, Carl showed us around the place. He knew it like the back of his hand.
All over the place. You want to see the basement?
Honey?
Kai.
Oh, ma'am, in your condition, I'd stay up here.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Nothing up here bites.
Nothing much. This place used to be a slaughterhouse, Mr. Mackey.
Well, you can call me Bobby.
Lord knows how much blood's been spilled on these floors. Mr. Mackey, don't come down here alone. I don't want you working so hard. Bobby's got enough help.
Yeah, okay. Carl, you hear something? Carl? I was not hallucinating. Carl saw it too.
Well, then you're both nuts.
Just don't get it, do you? There is something wrong with this place.
Janet, honey, believe me, the sooner this place is cleaned out, the better. Now, I know we're all a little stressed out, and you with the baby and all.
She's right, Bobby. You gotta move slow here. The things happen to people who move too far, too fast. No, I'm serious. The guy that ran this place in the 30s, he was murdered. Shot by his own daughter. Then she killed herself. And that's not all. Back in the 1890s.
No, now it's you who doesn't get it. You know how many crappy joints I had to play? How many drunks I had to dodge? How many cheap, no-count club owners I had to beg in order to get paid? All so I could save up enough money to buy this place. Now, I swore, honey, one day I was going to get off the road and bring the road to me. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Well, Bobby was right. We opened right on time, and I've never seen him so happy. I wish I could have said the same thing.
Come on, sugar, drink up. I'm buying tonight.
Honey, if anyone can drive a man to drink, it's you. Another soda water on the rocks.
Better go easy on this next one, Jerry.
lots of strange things that happened before. But that night, the air seemed filthy.
Come on! Here we go again. Carl?
Dial 911 and tell Bobby.
The Mackeys wanted to get to the root of their nightclub's ghostly occurrences. They turned to psychic Patricia Michelle.
What's it mean?
It means, Look, I'd just as soon you and your wife wait here. Carl, can you show me the basement?
Yeah, sure. I guess.
Wait a minute.
Are you all right?
You didn't see the will.
You mean they're right?
Right. About what?
About everything. This place. Look, we gotta get out of here.
You go. I need to be alone.
It's an old story about a well in the basement. What got tossed into.
What does that got to do with anything?
Well, maybe everything. They said it happened 100 years ago. A woman was found murdered, all cut up. They caught the two killers. On the day of their hanging, the first man went down without a sound. Then the judge tried to make a deal with the other. If he told where he put her head, he'd only get life.
You bastard. Tell us.
I'll tell you nothing.
Wait!
I curse you and men like you. Men who think that they can judge me. Any man who presumes to interfere with the work of the Dark Lord shall suffer for all time. May your God help you.
They say he was hung right outside.
Anything else you haven't told us? Why didn't you say something earlier?
Would it have made a difference?
You okay?
I'm fine.
We have to talk.
You're crazy. Both of you, you're crazy. Now, what you're saying is in order to put things right, I gotta tear down my nightclub, dig down 100 or so feet, and look for a well that may or may not exist? And then I gotta reunite this woman's head with her body? Come on.
That's not all. I also felt a very strong threat, anger, directed at
I'm
the
not
people-
doing it. I can't do it, and I won't do it.
Mr. Mackey, you're next.
What?
Whatever it is that lives here is determined to punish the men responsible for keeping it here. Today, the responsible man is you. You are the owner.
Wait a minute. You just wait 1 minute.
Are you sure? Nothing can be certain, but I take this warning very seriously. Talk to your husband.
Hey, baby, it's all right. We can figure something out.
No, it's not that. I'm going to be issued a subpoena to appear in municipal court. Richard Lawson is suing us for damages, claims we're responsible for what happened to him in the men's room. Emotional damages, he's calling it. Wants the court to order an exorcism or shut us down.
I guess Bobby made legal history. First ever lawsuit over a haunting. For some reason, Bobby didn't want me to go to the trial. But the night it was over and the verdict was announced, I found out why.
In an unprecedented ruling, the judge decided in favor of the bar's owner. The judge said the alleged ghost attack on Lawson was not the result of negligence. Therefore, Richard Lawson was not entitled to damages. Lawson responded by saying that any future incidents should be on the judge's conscience and not his, a charge the judge swiftly rejected. In Wilder, Kentucky, Chris Baelish reporting.
Well, congratulations, Bobby.
Yeah, hooray for the home team.
Could I get a glass of ice water? Make him a double, Vicky. I'm buying. Bobby, I just wanted to say that I... Forget it. You're not mad? Hell no. You know how much TV advertising costs these days? Anytime you want to sue me, you go right ahead. Anyway, I felt funny when my lawyer told me who I was suing.
Wait a minute, I don't understand. What?
Well, I mean, I always knew that, or I thought that Bobby owned the club. I never knew that you were the boss. Anyway, it was nothing personal. It's for tax reasons, that's all. I'm still the owner. It's just the deed's in your name.
The ghost was sworn to punish the person who was keeping it here, the owner. Now I understood why Bobby didn't want me at the courthouse. So, I'm making this tape for a reason. In case something happens to me. Bobby did what he had to do, I guess. I don't know. We tried to sell the place, but nobody's buying. So all we do is sit here and wait. And wait.
To this day, Janet Mackey is listed on county papers as the owner of Bobby Mackey's.
I won't come in here alone because of what's happened to me in the past. It scares me because I honestly think that there is something here will hurt me if I'm by myself. Because they're after me, no doubt about that. I think that the reason why Bobby turned the ownership over to me, that he's really afraid they're going to get him.
I certainly wouldn't put the danger on her and take danger off of me. I don't believe there was any danger to begin with. It was strictly a career move, a timely thing, a circumstantial thing, and had nothing to do with anybody being in danger, because I've never seen anybody in any danger in here whatsoever.
I think Bobby Mackey's very much in danger.
Local writer Doug Hensley spent 5 years researching the club.
That because Bobby Mackey has got on television shows and radio talk shows and whatever, and has mocked the spirits, and has teased them, and has said there is no Alonzo Walling, there is no Pearl Bryant on my property or in my building, I believe the day is going to come, and it's been predicted by several psychics, the day is going to come when they are going to try to kill Bobby.
The attack in the men's room is still fresh in Richard Lawson's mind.
I put my hands in the wash basin right here to wash my hands. And as I put my hands in this basin, this metal garbage can right beside the wash basin just violently took off and it slammed like that right into the wall, and it kept beating. And I turned around very violently to find out what in the world's going on, and there stood an image of a man. And he kept repeating to me the words, "Die game." And I was getting tingly inside, I got woozy, and I went out on the floor completely. I mean, I was out, and they had to call 911 to come in here and revive me from me being unconscious.
That ladder, it started right from that pipe right there. It started wobbling. It wasn't nothing like I'd ever seen. It had trampled. It just wasn't walking. It was coming towards her.
Just like in a spin, like a tornado type thing, banging against the wall and carrying on, and I couldn't move. And I thought, well, this is it, you know. I'm either dead or it's after me and my child.
Psychic Patricia Michelle witnessed the evil that lives within Bobby Mackey's.
I had these very eerie feelings as I started walking through this basement, cold chills, but then in my mind, I could see a well, and when I saw it, I saw a head in it.
Bobby Mackey continues to play his music for the fans every weekend, who come out despite the ghosts.
There's nothing here. I mean, nothing to be gotten rid of. I don't think there's anything such as that on the face of the earth.
Well, if it happened to you, you would.
If you.
But you know, when you have something.
You show me a ghost. You show me a ghost, and I'll ride.
I couldn't show you because you're never with me down
there. I'll ride the mechanical bull in the nude.
Well, you ride it in the nude. You get ready because they're here, and you might have to go. You might have to do that because they're here. And if someday they will grab you right from behind, you won't even go there. Well, I'll have to buy you one tomorrow.
What compels the haunting events we've seen tonight? Why do people experience and report the extraordinary, sometimes at great risk to their own credibility? All we know for certain is that there are many more stories like these, stories of real ghosts.